Hey everyone, Piano Man Chuck here. So the other day I put out a video that covered all the new keyboard releases that happened at NAMM's online event, Believe in Music. And let me get to that in a minute. Let me go back to the history of Believe in Music, which was just last year. Believe in Music was an online event that NAMM created because they couldn't do their annual NAMM show because of COVID. Back then, people were in lockdown and stuff like that. So instead of having no event at all, they decided to come up with an online virtual event called Believe in Music. And they'd have the vendors that would normally have booth space over there and show their new wares and their existing wares and demo everything. And you have hands-on and all that. You get to talk to the reps. They're doing the same thing, or the plan was to do the same thing online with Believe in Music, where the reps for those companies or the salespeople or whatever, they'd show you their new products, some of their old products as well, but the whole purpose was to show what the new products were. And of course, you weren't able to play them yourselves because you're not physically there, so they would play them for you and show you what they were like. If you were a NAMM member, you got to schedule time with the reps and you could talk to them one-on-one because that's what NAMM is all about anyway, getting reps and retailers together. Now, last year's Believe in Music event actually went kind of well. There was a lot of potential there. It could have really grown from there. All right, so this year, fast forward to this year, 2022. So it was a couple days ago. They threw it in January this year because they moved the physical NAMM event to June. So rather than wait for so long, they thought they'd try the Believe in Music thing again in January. As far as I'm concerned, it was a complete flop. I mean, I only follow keyboards and pro audio, mainly keyboards. And I found with keyboards, there was only one company, Casio, that actually took advantage of Believe in Music to announce all their new products. And why not? Everybody that's exhibiting at the physical NAMM show coming up was given a complimentary virtual booth space for Believe in Music. Casio took advantage of that. They announced 5 new keyboards. And Mackie, not a keyboard company, they do pro audio. They also took advantage to announce their new products at their virtual booth. They had the M-Caster Live, a great product. So aside from those companies, it seems like all the other companies, the big companies, who will be presenting in NAMM come June physically, did not take advantage of their free virtual booth space at Believe in Music. I don't know why, but they just didn't. Casio did, Mackie did, but you got huge companies like Yamaha. Yamaha, I just happened to stumble on a YouTube video released that same day as Believe in Music, January 20th this year. They released that video on YouTube of 2 of their new products. And that was the Yamaha PSR E473 and the PSR EW425. But not a peep from them at their virtual booth space. In fact, their virtual booth was pretty much empty. They didn't do anything about it. Just the default things. Company name, Yamaha. Website, this. And not much more than that. So I don't know. I mean, they got this virtual booth for free and they didn't take advantage of it. Hammond was the same way. They announced also the new Hammond SKX Pro, and they did not have a peep about that at their virtual booth. So, and before I go further, I want to clear one thing up. There is somebody or some people out there that seem to be getting a kick with messing with people's minds with Korg. And they put out some fake videos and material that there's a new Korg PA5X. Absolutely not true, folks. I actually kind of fell for that myself and threw that in a video the other day, and few hours later, after learning that that was not true, I took that video down immediately. So in case you were wondering about that, that's what's going on. I apologize. I'm usually much better at verifying everything, but they got me. Korg PA5X does not exist. Okay? So moving on from that, getting back to Believe in Music, the initial purpose for it back in 2021 when it started was great. It worked to a certain extent. It was actually pretty good. It needed more work and it would have been really good. Instead, this year, because companies, I'm sure the companies are so certain that physical NAMM in June is going to happen that they didn't bother with Believe in Music. Well, I guess they're really not hurting that bad because they have managed to get the word out about their new products without Believe in Music. They've used YouTube, they've used Instagram, they've used the forums, they've used Twitter, they've used Facebook. There's so many things they can use, and not to mention their own websites. So it tells me that there really is no use for these companies to bother with an online event. So Believe in Music was a complete flop this year. It just wasn't used, which tells me that they either need to redesign this from the ground up and get some interest happening in this, or just drop it altogether because it's just not being used. Anyway, that's my take on everything, and be interesting to hear from you in the comments below about Believe in Music. Does it have a future, or should they just drop it, maybe redesign it? I don't know. You tell me. Piano Man Chuck, peace out. Thanks for watching.